afternoon, everyone. We're delighted to welcome a newcomer to Unlock the Stock today in 4Sight Holdings. As you know, this platform was created for retail investors to connect with corporate management to get a better understanding of both them and their companies. And today we are joined, obviously, by 4Sight's CEO, Tertius Zitska, the CFO, Eric Vinemava, and Board Chairman, Camille Patel. Unlock the Stock is only possible with our technology partner, Lumi Global. Please visit their website, lumiglobal.com, to discover more about their various online AGM and investor presentation solutions. Before we start, just a few housekeeping notes from my side. The recording of the company presentation will be followed, sorry, it's not the recording, we're going to do it live today, will be followed by the Q&A. As usual, the Q&A will be hosted by the finance ghost and Mark Tobin of Coffee Microcaps. You can post your questions by typing them into the chat box at the bottom of your screen. And this event is being recorded and will be made available on our YouTube channel soon. You'll also see an email address before we begin the Q&A session. Please take note of it if you'd like to be added to 4Sight's investor distribution list. And with that, from my side, I'm now handing over to Tertius, Eric, and Camille for the presentation. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, Deborah. Lovely to be on this, our first session here. I'm sure there will be lots to come. So Jackie will just share our deck quickly, and then I can kick off with a short video on 4Sight.
AI is evolving faster than any technology before it. Its potential is clear, but the path forward is not. Today, organizations are stepping into the AI frontier. And in a frontier, progress requires direction. At 4Sight, we guide that journey through the 7 stages of AI maturity, from experimenting and learning to innovation maturity and finally full integration. Alongside artificial intelligence, we unlock automated intelligence, combining automation and AI to transform real business processes end to end. Our strength lies in deep domain expertise, advanced technology, and responsible AI by design. We believe credibility starts at home. 4Sight is customer zero, transforming our own business first before transforming others. Together with Microsoft, we help organizations move forward with confidence across the AI frontier.
Yes, so we say we are the frontier in automated intelligence, and if we say AI, we really focus on the automation side of that. Businesses, I always say business is not artificial, and 4Sight really moving very well into this. Okay, who's 4Sight? Next slide, please, Jack.
The future of your business relies on your ability to integrate digital technologies into your operations. Combining market-leading solutions with deep domain expertise to create intelligent, agile, and profitable organizations. 4Sight gives you the visibility you need to make informed decisions and develop effective, sustainable strategies, with the ultimate automated intelligence goal of enhancing productivity for us all. Increasing business efficiency through automated intelligence, saving time and optimizing resources while improving data analysis, insights, and predictive analytics. Start your digital 4AI transformation journey with a uniquely developed transformational assessment to achieve optimal output and make your digital journey self-funding. Taking your business from no sight to 4Sight to 4Frontier. Delivering integrated solutions to drive digital 4AI transformation through our unique business clusters, converging information technologies with operational technologies through the business environment world. There is no better way than through 4Sight's Channel Partner Cluster, delivering support through our extensive partner network across the globe. Experience avenues for growth and digital innovation to keep your business relevant. Digitalize today to future-proof the way forward. Future forward 4Sight.
Yes, so that's a quick slide just explaining our 4 clusters. I think one thing that's very important is that 4Sight automated intelligence and artificial intelligence drive in the middle there You can't do it today without hybrid cloud technologies. It's true that you cannot put everything in the cloud. We've got lots of sites, of industrial sites. The amount of data that they store in historians, for instance, on a mine is hybrid. It's on-prem, but then we process in the cloud. And that's a firm strategy for us. And in data and integration, you cannot have all these technologies available to your company if you don't integrate to other sources of data as well. And then security always comes into play as well. Cyber and security, giving you a secure future for your business assets, and your most valuable asset right now, I always say, is people and your data. We operate in 4 clusters: operational technologies, all the engineering applications, information technology, the business applications driving a business at the back, like the ERP. And then we'd say business environment is really the bridge building. That's the bridge between those two worlds. And the bridge name is data and intelligence. But we'll go into those 3 clusters then. And then we've got a big distribution business that's driving our distribution into the rest of Africa and South Africa with partners of Microsoft and Sage. Where the big guys, they tend to deal with less customers or the less direct solution providers. And then we support those smaller ones in the world. And there's a big growth for us in that area coming forward. Next slide, please. So our footprint that you see where we've got direct offices, Southern Africa, and then the rest is all our alliance partners and our channel partner operators. We go all the way from Poland all the way to Robben Island in that region. Very strong growth, over 1,100 partners there. Let's go. Yeah, 435 excellent staff, supporting 4,500 plus customers, over 73 countries, registered partners, over 1,100 now. ISV solutions that we do on behalf of other companies in the world, selling into Africa and Southern Africa, and OEM vendors as well. And this is our road. So we really say we take people from no sight to hindsight into insight, 4Sight and 4AI and the frontier. This whole frontier concept is to be the leader, the next generation AI transformed organization, driving AI technologies to unlock productivity and innovation for their people. Let's go on. And this is what we call the DNA string of a business into the future. People is red because people with oxygen in their bloods, that's alive and doing very well. Stakeholders, really marketing and sales, and the community. Operations, that's unique in every organization. Mine is different from a bank, from a consulting house, so operational software requirements differs there. And then finance, Solos Finance, ERP specialization, processing of the payroll side of business, and then innovation as well. Innovation really driving the first 4 pillars. How do we innovate and do artificial intelligence advances or the developments that can really unlock the potential of people, by not doing the routine jobs anymore. And that's where we formulated the 7 stages of AI for business. Let's go. And this is what we talk about. It's all about just get this note off my screen. Fully integrated. So this roadmap, it's a little bit like Shakespeare, 7 stages of man. So I formulated this last year, December. And what we do find in the market the last 2 years since this whole movement on artificial intelligence and co-pilot started is, how do people do it in a business? There was recently a survey published that there's like 30% of CEOs wanting to resign because their boards keep on saying, implement AI, but how do they do that? And that's the big challenge. So we formulated this 7 stages of AI in business people, and this is defined now to every role. So the role of an HR recruitment agent in our organization, first experiment by dumping CVs into a co-pilot and evaluate it against the job description, but it's manual, and then you cut and paste the results out. But at stage 5 is where that person actually arrives at work in the morning, and then the system will just tell her, I received 60 CVs overnight. We evaluated them all. There's only 3 that you need to look at. The rest we've sent letters already. We keep your details on record. And with data now, we can really keep those CVs on record. And if there's a position open, we can actually source. But there's 3 guys that applied already. Can we contact them? And then fully integrated, that's where you've got good autonomy. And the guardrails is probably at level number 2 and 3, where we really make sure that the business decisions that's taken on an organization's internal control measures is guarded by their operational rules. This is received very well by the market right now, and we really drive it for every single role. And we are also customer zero as well, that we do this in-house in 4Sight. That's why our profits, our revenue only increased 16%, but our profits, tremendously by over 50%. And that's where we're driving it towards, is that efficiencies inside our own organization to be customer zero, that we can display this to our customers as well. Next. Yeah, so last year we were surprised when we always enter this Microsoft global competitions, and we were one of 4 finalists for this Automated Intelligence Award in the San Francisco Microsoft conference, to be on the stage there in front of 40,000 people against huge companies like Ernst & Young, Tata Consulting, Cognizant, with over 100,000 staff. And here comes the Africans, only 500 people, but we're on stage and we really deliver excellent quality work for our customer, and a good reference site that we display to them as well. That autonomous cars there, just go back one. I just want to mention that quickly. So you can see there on the back screen of that car, if you drive in, you can really request good Darren music to listen to in San Francisco. But the business model, and this is what we mean by innovation, is how do you package your current product in this digitally transformed world for the future? And these guys don't make profits with driving that 1,000 Jaguars around, high-paced Jaguars. They make money out of referring you when you sit in that car and you've got a captive audience, and that AI engine asks you, what do you do tonight? Can I book you a dinner somewhere? Do you want to visit this museum? And that's where they make their money, is refer and earn. Let's go. Lots of awards for 4Sight in the last few weeks. 3 weeks ago, we were finalists, 7 finalists at the Tech Week Award in Cape Town. A year and a half ago, I won the Innovator of the Year Award at APLA, CNBC Africa Awards. 2 weeks ago, then the CEO, Tech CEO of the Year for 2026. And then our team at the Aviva Worldwide Conference in Italy last week won the Sustainability Partner of the Year globally for 4Sight. And our tech team also won the demonstration where we really had to demonstrate how we use AI solving problems for engineering. And our case study there is really solid. You can watch the videos on our LinkedIn pages. Let's go. I think this is the last one on introduction. I think we start now with the finances. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Finance is sitting there in our boardroom. Welcome to our chairman also, Camille Patel. He's from Mauritius. He comes and visits us every quarter. Solid businessman from Mauritius, leading us since we reconfigured the group in beginning 2020. And we just stayed with our strategy. And our strategy in 4Sight is really the convergence of operational technology, OT, and the information technology, IT world, with that bridge that we call data and AI. So Eric, let's start talking about the group revenue and the profits and growth. So over to you guys.
Thank you, Tertius. Good afternoon to the audience, online. Like the ghost mentioned, this is a good set of the results. And ultimately, I think people will look at our numbers and say, if you look at all the IT guys in the sectors, everybody was struggling to lift the revenue numbers. Not so that most of the guys were flat, but at least we as a group achieved a 60.3% growth over this year. But for us, the biggest benefit came through in our bottom line. I think most of the guys in the IT sector grew revenue slightly, but everybody improved on bottom line. But I mean, my personal view is that our increase on the bottom line is, let's say much bigger. So when it comes to our revenue with numbers, if you guys look at on the segment report where we break down, let's say, the revenue, when it comes to software as a service and consulting revenue, that's almost with 85% of the total, let's say, group's, let's say, revenue. And that software as a service is ultimately with our annuity revenue we're building, let's say, into the future, that the concept we coin internally to say, Biki buyer. So just add, let's say, on that revenue line, with ultimately with for the future. And then the consulting is where we render the services with at much higher, let's say, margins. So in the years like this year, definitely with where we those margins which increase, our utilization rates which on consulting was excellent. And you saw in the data lines with the increase in consulting, it was almost, let's say, 30%. And the increase on software as a service within the group numbers from the prior year to this year was, let's say, 55%, let's say, percent. And that ultimately, let's say, filters, let's say, down, let's say, into our gross profit. That whole sales mix, since our increase on the consulting contributing, let's say, to margin is much bigger. That's the main reason why the gross profit with number, let's say, increased. And the Biki buyer software as a service is normally at lower, let's say, margins. That will eat into your gross profit, let's say, percentages. But this time around, I mean, the consulting teams are delivering, and that's really with ultimately contributing to that nice increase in the gross profit versus the increase, let's say, in group, let's say, revenue. We go to the next slide, Jackie. Yeah, when it comes to operational expenditure, there's a 12.3%, let's say, increase in OPEX. You guys will saw in the sense that we made a comment to say there was a 4.6 million rand impairment on one of the entities on the goodwill, let's say, numbers. So if you strip out that, then expenses only like grew it by 11%. And now for me, the big thing is to say, if our consulting number increased by 29.7%, but our staff cost for direct salaries, this section only increased by almost by 17%. So that's ultimately showing with how we were able to deliver with more consulting services, not say with less people, but ultimately that cost impact. And we, as the attachment mentioned, that adoption of the AI internally with our indirect salaries, the guys which is supporting consultants with the people which in the trenches, that total cost which actually decreased, which in this current year. So it's really the focus is on the delivery and to get the work out of the door. On our total operational expenditure, with as I said, maybe mentioned, it's 86% is our staff cost. So our biggest expense is from operational expenditure is staff cost. Then we look at close to 7% is with facilities. You need a place for you to sit, and we pay rent, water, electricity, and the balance is in the small items with communication cost, depreciation, which is not material, let's say, within our numbers. So, like I said, the biggest contribution is our the actual, let's say, cost. And something that's also for me interesting, if I look at our operating profit, we actually failed to mention, it took us 4 years to double with our revenue, in the 4-year, let's say, period. But in this 4-year period, the operating, let's say, with profit, we had increased from below 25 million to 71 million. So that's a tremendous, let's say, increase and improvement on the operating profit. Ultimately, with our business model, with how we take business, which is to market, and at the same time, we all know that your software vendors is also pushing, or we're not pushing, but putting with pressure on our margins when it comes to with software, let's see, margins and rebates. Next slide, Jackie. Our cash balance, which increase. So we always see in the articles, I mean, the guys would look at our cash and they praise us to say that you got more cash than liabilities. And at the same time, we also have shareholders that will complain and say, why do you guys have so much cash on your balance sheet? Please pay it out as dividends. What's important in our business model, when it comes to Microsoft and big creditor payments, we've got a 65 payment terms with Microsoft. So 5 days later, with 50-60 million rand, depending on the cycle, it goes out of our bank account. Then the balance is really to be ensured that we've got enough cash to cover the operations, the working capital. And if you look at last year, everybody will ask, guys, where did the cash go? You guys can recall that we did a 10 million rand share buyback. We've purchased the properties as part of the related party transactions from one of the shareholders. And the other part was the acquisition of, say, X4. So wasn't it for those big capital outlays? Definitely it would have been a nice view on the increase in the cash balance. And then cash flow from operating activities in the last 6 years, from we've taken over the business from the previous board and directors. For 6 years in a row, we've got positive cash flows from operating activities. So I mean, that's really a good achievement, because at the end of the day, the cash needs to flow to shareholders for dividends at the end of the day. So we are contributing and delivering on the cash to business. Next slide. Earnings per share. There's a 34% increase in our earnings per share. The headline earnings per share, that's ultimately the reason why that's going up by 46%, is that the add back on the goodwill impairment. So that's really the headline earnings is our true earnings per share. Since the goodwill transaction, it's a non-cash flow event. It's a IFRS accounting transaction, but yes, still it's an impairment of an asset you potentially want to derive income from the future. But I mean, there are not many companies that delivers a 46% increase on share. Next slide. Do you want to mention something, Camille?
No, once you finish.
Okay. Sorry. Net asset value per share. That also is when we approve the results, with having the chat with the board, and it's always interesting for me on the net asset value is increasing, but per share, the net asset value, including the goodwill and the intangibles, is 73 cents per share. Is pretty much currently with where we are trading. So, and our PE is sitting at an 8. Honestly, I think we all believe that we are definitely undervalued. But I mean, with management is more focused on delivering results than looking at the share price. So we're just going to focus on doing what we do well. And ultimately, also, if I strip out the goodwill and the intangible assets from our values, we're sitting with almost 25 cents per share. So there's good value within the business when it comes to I would say the tangible, the hard, touchable stuff within the business. And then I honestly believe our revenue stream is undervalued in the market. Next. Revenue per cluster. Revenue per cluster. With IT cluster, with all the clusters had a growth, across with all the clusters. The IT cluster had nice growth of 29%. That's ultimately where X4 is sitting. They contributed to that growth. Excluding X4, we would have had a growth of just over 7%. Next. And here we can see the revenue contribution from the prior year per the cluster, and also the profit contributions. So CP cluster is definitely the biggest contributing factor to our revenue, but you all can see that sitting there at the 39%. So all the other clusters, as a combined effort, they will have mixed performance, but I mean, they're all contributing in total to the business. So it's not just with the CP cluster where we've got the reseller section to market. And then with profit contributions, we are aiming to ensure that all 4 of these clusters contribute 25% which is to the bottom line which is of the business. And the B cluster, that's the way the data and the AI is which is sitting, and that's where we really see the big explosion going to happen with for the years which is to come. Next. Yeah, this is just a graphical what's happening, and the decrease on the OT's we'd say profit is really due to the impairment of one of the cash generating we'd say units. Next. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so thank you all, and yeah, looking forward.
Okay, let's we have like a 2-3 minute video on every cluster explaining all what the guys do. So we've got 14 delivery divisions, and these guys are going to tell you now what they specialize in over the next 10 minutes. And then we have the question and answers. Thanks.
Welcome to 4Sight. At 4Sight, our OT optimization division focuses on improving performance across complex industrial environments. We work in asset-intensive industries, such as mining, manufacturing, and energy, where operational efficiency directly impacts cost, output, and sustainability. By leveraging real-time data, advanced analytics, and deep operational expertise, we identify inefficiencies and unlock measurable improvements. Through automated intelligence, we continuously refine operations, moving beyond static improvements to dynamic, data-driven performance management. Our approach is ongoing as we embed these capabilities into our customers' environments so they can continuously improve and adapt. Ultimately, we help organizations maximize throughput, reduce waste, and drive more sustainable outcomes in operations. This is where AI and operational expertise come together to transform data into measurable business value.
Welcome to 4Sight. OT automation is the foundation of modern industrial operations. We design and implement systems that control and run critical mining and industrial environments in real time, from plant-level automation to fully operational platforms. By combining automation with AI-driven insights, we enable operations to respond intelligently to changing conditions, improving performance, safety, and reliability. Automated intelligence allows us to move beyond traditional control systems, creating environments that are adaptive, responsive, and increasingly self-optimizing. We also connect these operational systems into broader digital and data ecosystems, unlocking greater visibility and smarter decision-making. OT automation creates the digital backbone for intelligent, AI-driven industrial operations.
Welcome to 4Sight. In OT simulation, we enable organizations to evaluate and optimize their operations in a virtual environment with simulation technologies, digital twins, and advanced analytics before making decisions in the real world. We develop digital models of complex systems enhanced by AI to deliver predictive analytics and perform scenario analysis and forecast outcomes and behavior with greater accuracy. This allows organizations to evaluate decisions, reduce risk, and optimize performance before implementation. Simulation also plays a key role in training and continuous improvement, using intelligent models to replicate real-world complexity. By combining simulation with automated intelligence, we enable faster, smarter, and more confident decision-making. We provide a safe and intelligent environment for innovation, helping operations reduce risk while accelerating performance improvements.
Welcome to 4Sight.
Our ERP divisions delivers modern, integrated business management solutions for corporate to enterprise organizations, enabling greater control and visibility across core functions such as finance, operations, and supply chain. These solutions streamline business processes, improving report accuracy, and support more efficient day-to-day operations.
By embedding AI and automation in ERP environments will help organizations reduce manual effort, enhance productivity, and make more informed decisions, allowing them to operate with greater agility and responsiveness, moving from reactive operations to proactive frontier organizations.
Our enterprise ERP capability focus on large-scale transformation, delivering integrated end-to-end business platforms designed for complex organizations operating at a scale. Our corporate ERP solution delivers financial management for small to mid-market organizations.
Welcome to 4Sight. Our human capital division focuses on transforming how organizations manage and empower their people. We implement innovative digital HR solutions that improve employee experience, streamline processes, and support workforce planning across key areas such as talent acquisition, payroll and benefits, performance management, learning and development, and employee engagement. From recruitment and payroll to performance and engagement, we help organizations operate more effectively and strategically. Our approach aligns people, processes, and technology, ensuring businesses are both efficient and people-centric. Because at 4Sight, we believe AI and technology should elevate people, not replace them.
Welcome to 4Sight.
4Sight CRM team deliver intelligent CRM and AI-driven solutions that connect sales, marketing, and services, providing a complete 360 view of the customer. These solutions drive intelligence around how organizations engage with their customers. By combining intelligent automation, data insights, and predictive capabilities, we help organizations personalize interactions, improve service delivery, and drive revenue growth.
Turning customer insight into competitive advantage. CRM enables businesses to move from transactional engagement to meaningful long-term relationship. This empowers teams to make smarter decisions, strengthen customer loyalty, and drive more meaningful long-term relationships.
Welcome to 4Sight. In AI and data enablement, our focus isn't just on data, it's unlocking business value. Most organizations already have large amounts of data, but is often fragmented, inconsistent, and underutilized. What we do is turn those scattered data assets into trusted, business-critical capabilities. We start with advisory, helping organizations understand where they are in their data maturity journey, what value they can unlock, and how to get there. From there, we design and implement the foundations, data platform, governance, and integration that connects data across the business and eliminates silos. But technology is only part of the story. A big part of our role is helping organizations shift their culture, moving from intuition-based decision-making to data-driven thinking that is embedded at every level of the organization. We ensure that data isn't just available, it's trusted, governed, relevant, and actionable. That's what enables advanced analytics, AI, and automation to actually deliver impact. Ultimately, we help organizations move from simply having data to using it as a strategic asset, driving better decisions, faster execution, and measurable business outcomes. That's what we mean by AI and data enablement, turning data into a capability that powers smarter organizations.
Welcome to 4Sight. The modern digital enterprise is about transforming how organizations work, collaborate, and operate in a digital-first world where people, processes, and now intelligent AI agents work side by side. We design and implement workplace solutions that enhance productivity, connectivity, and security across the organization. At the heart of this is Microsoft Copilot, a new generation of AI agents embedded into the everyday tools your people already use. By leveraging cloud and hybrid cloud platforms, collaboration tools, modern application, and secure digital environments, amplified by co-pilots and purpose-built agents, we enable employees to work more effectively regardless of location. We also ensure that organizations are secure, compliant, and able to adapt to changing business needs. AI is only as valuable as it is safe and being used, and we make sure yours is both. Through Change Intelligence, we support adoption and change management, helping people embrace the new ways of work and realize value from digital transformation.
Welcome to 4Sight. Intelligent automation focuses on reimagining how work gets done across an organization. We combine automation technologies with AI, business management processes, process intelligence, intelligent agents to streamline operations and eliminate inefficiencies and help organizations work together and smarter. By automating repetitive tasks and augmenting human decision-making, we enable organizations to improve productivity, accuracy, and speed. Our solutions are designed to scale, ensuring automation becomes an embedded capability across the business. Importantly, we don't just automate processes, we transform them. Intelligent automation frees up people's time to focus on higher value activities like innovation, strategy, and customer engagement. This is a key component for automated intelligence, where technology and people work together to drive better outcomes.
Welcome to 4Sight. Our application tech division enables organizations to innovate and differentiate through tailored digital solutions. We design and build applications that address complex business challenges and integrate seamlessly into existing environments. Our approach is user-centric, agile, and outcome-driven, ensuring that the solutions we deliver create real, practical business value. We support organizations in modernizing legacy systems, building new digital capabilities, embedding AI into the core, or even wrap existing solutions with AI capability. That ensures rapid response to changing market demands. Application dev is about turning ideas into reality, creating solutions that drive efficiency, innovation, and competitive advantage.
Welcome to 4Sight. Channel Partner is 4Sight's 100% channel-focused partner ecosystem. We distribute and support AI solutions on behalf of international vendors such as Microsoft and Sage, including a wide range of international vertical and horizontal ISV applications. Our Microsoft-focused CSP division enables organizations to adopt and manage cloud services at scale, focused on Microsoft AI Business Solutions, AI Workforce, cloud and AI platforms, and security. We provide Microsoft licensing support and advisory services to our channel partners in order to help them maximize cloud value for the customer. We simplify cloud complexity and make it easy for our partners and their customers to innovate, grow, and become frontier organizations. As 4Sight, we achieve scale through our CSP partners who resell and deliver solutions across Africa, the Middle East, Central, and Eastern Europe regions.
Welcome to 4Sight. We partner with a strong community of independent software vendors who develop specialized add-on solutions that enhance and extend the functionality of our core vendor platforms. These solutions enable us to address industry-specific challenges, unlock new capabilities, and deliver more tailored outcomes for our partners. Through these collaborations, our partners are able to go beyond standard implementations, integrating additional functionality that drives efficiency, innovation, and business impact. Together, we co-create solutions, expand our offering, and ensure our customers benefit from a broader, more powerful technology landscape. With our channel partners, we collaborate across Africa and beyond to sell and scale our vendor and ISV solutions for accelerated growth.
Welcome to 4Sight. Well, we're talking on the Customer 360 division of 4Sight. This division is really centered around customer and revenue growth, marketing and sales initiatives to our customers, as well as scaling business through intelligent strategy execution. Our Customer 360 approach at 4Sight is focused on creating a meaningful, complete, connected view of our customers. By aligning sales and marketing around a unified customer view, we also enable more consistent, targeted, and meaningful engagement, leveraging data and AI to have a full view and unlock the new opportunities within our customer portfolios. Ensuring every interaction across sales and marketing and delivery is aligned and meaningful. Growth is about turning insight into action and action into a measurable result.
Welcome to 4Sight. We ensure 4Sight operates within all legal and regulatory frameworks, including JSE compliance, upholding strong corporate governance across the group while pioneering internal efficiencies we extend to our customers. We proactively assess and mitigate and identify all legal risks to protect the business, its people, and its reputation. We support the business across all legal functions using responsible AI to enhance efficiency, consistency, and compliance in the way legal services are delivered. We manage statutory obligations, company secretarial requirements, and engagement with regulatory bodies, ensuring that our corporate governance processes are maintained in line with all applicable legal and compliance requirements, scaling role-based internal and external legal functions through automated intelligence, extending the capacity of 4Sight and our partners. Customers benefit from our processes adopted by our own legal division, leading by example as customer zero for practices that we champion in the market.
Welcome to 4Sight. Our AI team brings together data, automation, and artificial intelligence across 4Sight. We integrate capabilities from across the group to deliver true automated intelligent solutions and then define how 4Sight takes these to market.
Central to how we do this is our 7 stages of AI framework, a proven roadmap that guides organizations from foundational data readiness through automation and intelligent applications, all the way to autonomous, agent-driven operations.
It gives customers a clear view of where they are on their AI journey, what's needed to advance, and how each stage unlocks tangible business value. No guesswork, no hype, just structured path from ambition to execution.
By embedding AI into real-world applications for customers and 4Sight alike, we drive efficiency, innovation, and measurable impact. 4AI is where strategy becomes execution, positioning 4Sight as the leader in your journey to becoming a frontier organization.
Okay, now it's questions and answers, and I must say well done to the team for putting this together. This is super, and you can see the talent in 4Sight. That's the most important thing, is people that can make a difference in our world, delivering these solutions to business. Let's go on.
Hello to the team. Hello to everyone who's joined us. Welcome. Thank you. Your first appearance on Unlock the Stock. Certainly Kurt Darren's first appearance on Unlock the Stock as well. So it's a big day of firsts. Lots of questions in the DMs. We have lots to get through. So I'm going to jump pretty much straight in. I think there are a few questions around your consulting business and just trying to understand a little bit more about it and just the shape of your business. So on the consulting side, what is the secret sauce there? And how do you actually manage the talent there? How do you make money? Is it project fees? Is it time-based fees? I think let's just start there, because obviously that's quite an important component of what your business does. And maybe linked to that, there were questions about how it's differentiated from maybe some of the other consulting and tech companies in the market.
Yes, thanks. I think the consulting right now, a third of our revenue, and only 15% is time and material based. The rest is all project driven. So we really implement big systems, big contracts. And one thing that happened in the last year, 2 years now, is that we are really moving up in the food chain, so to say, more into corporate tier one companies, the big enterprises delivering these solutions. The rest of our revenue, that's the SaaS part, and we'll talk about that probably a bit later. But the consulting, I think that's where you need those excellent skills and the recipes for delivering these solutions. You know, we read always, often you read about ERP implementations that's failures. And it's really a case that 4Sight, our track record on that is really excellent. And that's why we have our own internal project office as well, very strongly. That's the governor for us. And then a big thing in that is adoption change management. That's the reason why these projects fail. And we really tackle big projects right now, delivering, especially in data. You know, we never in the last 2-3 years had orders coming in for 70 million rand data projects, what we've got it now, and we can deliver securely on that. And our innovation part in 4Sight's always being very, very strong. Integration is the answer there. Real-time integrations, and that's where the world is moving, this MMM, multimodal models, where you need to integrate to other data models in order to secure and deliver that for us.
Just if we can maybe a follow-up question on that. One of the questions is maybe just the biggest industries you're exposed to. I know a couple of the videos, looks like you do a lot in mining. So maybe a breakdown by industry. And then I don't know if it's applicable across all the clusters, but maybe touch on some of the biggest competitors that you kind of come up against when you're bidding on work and trying to sell 4Sight's products and services in the market.
So industry, probably the biggest one is definitely mining industrial, about 30% of our business. But then there's also in every sector, we've got a very good footprint. Government is not that big. They are slow to adopt to these things. They think it's going to take jobs away and probably votes. I don't know. But anyway, we are here for business. Very strong move in services industry. And I think the HR, the human capital side of business, it's probably where the most action is right now, and in finance operations. That's a lot of automation that's happening there right now. Think on competition, we come up against what we call the big five always, but we are cheetahs. We are not elephants. We move quick and fast and deliver to the customer, yeah.
Maybe I can jump in there with one from the DMs as well. So again, just trying to understand more about the business model, just the split between annuity revenue and once-off revenues, which is a nuanced question to what we discussed earlier, obviously in the consulting business. I think this is more across the board, annuity versus once-off, and then maybe linked to that, where do you think the biggest opportunities are for growth in the next couple of years?
Right. I think the annuity side, the 2/3 of our revenue, that's SaaS. The renewal rate on licenses on software, we're right now just on the Microsoft side, our renewal and upsell rate is 131%. So we renew everything and upsell. So there's a big growth coming there. Our biggest growth right now will be for the next 2 years, will be in the channel partner cluster. A lot of the resellers that used to buy from Microsoft directly, they can't do it anymore. So they must go through other partners, CSP partners. And in South Africa, 4Sight is one of 5 that's now selected that's left to take all this business to Microsoft. And in the rest of Africa, we are one of 12. So there's a big growth coming for us there. We're really looking at, to doubling that side of the business in the next 2 years. But the big trick there is, or the secret sauce is, that we actually supply those partners with assistance and knowledge, supported by the 3 delivery clusters, So all the consultants there really assist all these partners in the rest of Africa and South Africa very well. And we've got all the advanced specializations, that's skills that we certified for. You cannot implement these systems without being certified by that vendor. And we've got that in our storeroom and war room in order to deliver that and grow our business there. So biggest growth, CP definitely, and then second and third is definitely AI, artificial intelligence or automated intelligence, and data, and integration to other data models, just like weather patterns for an agricultural company that can influence cash flow. That's what we do today. It's not sitting there and people looking at two different screens to make a decision. It's real-time integration and advanced AI for you there.
I've got a question around acquisitions.
Yes.
What do you look for in an acquisitions, maybe from a valuation standpoint? But if I can broaden it a bit, looking at acquisitions, moving forward next 3-5 years, is it more for geographic expansion you'd be interested in, or pulling in more specialist expertise or products that can fit neatly into one of the clusters and kind of enhance the offering of that one cluster?
Acquisitions, definitely. We did one very successful the last financial year. I'm looking at a few right now, and it's not huge though. It's smaller companies, let's say 50 million turnover, 40, 50 staff, somewhere in that region. But it must really complement what we do in our 14 delivery divisions. And what the biggest thing there is probably culture and talent. We need people that can really grasp this future and drive us towards that. So I'm not going to buy something that's got a big recurring book and something that we don't really support, So we're really looking at people that will join 4Sight and make a difference. The 4Sight, the X4 acquisition, that we only had a year in out with them, and it was very successful. They overachieved. And I took one of their guys out of their management already, into our shared services to drive our automated intelligence part of our business. And that's what we're looking for. There's excellent talent. 2 weeks ago at this Tech Week in Cape Town, I chatted to quite a few companies, and we can really see the growth in South Africa in fintech, health, and in retail and CRM. That's the big things that's driving this, let's say, the fifth industrial revolution called AI.
Maybe I can jump in with a few more from my DM. So I've had a few questions about the valuation of the company, which is obviously not something you guys directly control, is the share price, but something you can control is the way the market perceives it over time and some of the actions you take, like share buybacks, for example. So one of the questions was around interest from institutional shareholders. So maybe to what extent do you have those sort of holders on the register? Are they speaking to you? Like, are they showing interest? That's the one question. So your typical big asset managers or institutions. And then the other point is around share buybacks going forwards. Can you use that as a way to maybe take advantage of the fact that, like so many other smaller JSE companies, you're trading on essentially a single-digit PE multiple right now?
Yes, I think Eric and Camille, you can probably come in. I want our chairman also to say a few words. He's been guiding us through this journey the last 6 years. But definitely, we need to consider, we've got 110 million rands in the bank now. It will be quite some more by the end of this year. But so where we spend it is a very careful decision. I would rather right now, do acquisitions. But let's hear from Camille.
Thank you, Tertius. Well, first of all, I'm very proud and excited that we got to the point where these questions are being asked. When we started 6 years ago, the business wasn't in the same health, and thanks to the finance coach to host us today, because as you probably know, we've got 48,000 shareholders and most of them are retail. So this is a great platform for us to interact, and that they can see us and get the insights from Tertius and the team. The share price has always been on the top of our mind at the board, and the aim was to stabilize the board and give a very strong framework so that the executives can go and work as free as possible. And this is what's happening now. We've got a fantastic team. Tertius, well done to you and the whole team for what's happened. We've managed to deliver growth in profit. We've managed to deliver growth on return on equity. Our equity is growing. We're now paying dividends also. So everything I think the shareholders want to see, combined with the security and the governance, which shows that this is not a flash in the pan. We're here to stay. We work with partners who are very strong. We talk about the gorillas like like Microsoft and Aviva, and then we have local stakeholders we've been working with for years, also very, very solid relationships. So we don't have the answer on share buybacks or not. We started by declaring a dividend and pushing that forward. And yes, we have the best interest of the shareholders at heart, and the more they can make, the happier we are. Thank you very
Camille,
much.
if I can just maybe follow on from there. There's a question here about dividend policy, given the 3-cent dividend that was declared as part of the result. Has a formal dividend policy been put together at the board level, or is that still in the works and you're going to take it on a result by results basis while that's being fleshed out?
So it's more a guideline. So what we have right now is we did declare a dividend 2 years ago, and last year we skipped the dividend, but we did an acquisition, and this year we're back onto dividends. The aim for us is to be able to create a growing dividend and to be able to have a higher dividend every year over the next few years. That's the guidelines that we've set ourselves for the board and for the executives. But we haven't done that extra step of putting a set in stone policy, because we also want to have the flexibility if we have something that's more valuable to the shareholders to be able to take that opportunity and not be restrained.
On the institutional or the asset management guys, I think only 20% of our shares is free floating. The rest, 80%, still owned by the original guys that were bought into the group in 2018-19. But I think those shareholders are all open for talks. And this is in my next 3 years now. I've been reappointed for another term of 3 years by the board. And this is one of my KPIs to drive that as well. So we'll reach out to those markets.
So music to my ears, Tasha. So another question, your software as a service offering, that's pretty much your biggest source of revenue. That sector is on fire internationally. Salesforce, Adobe, Intuit, take your pick, some of the worst performing stocks on the S&P this year. Why do you have a right to win where Adobe, Salesforce, the market is saying that SaaS is over? What is different about your business in this AI era that gives you the right to keep making money?
It will change in the next few years. I mean, that's IT oaks. We are just like that. We invent things for ourselves to make it difficult. But I mean, this user license, in consulting, there's also a good saying, factuurtjie vir 'n uurtjie, I bill 1 hour and then I send you an invoice. That's all gone as well. So it's all outpaced come deals that we do and sign with customers, So we really drive that very strongly. On the licensing, it will stay a few years still with us, but it's being replaced now with tokens. As people use these the machine capabilities of these big data centers to process data for them, that's where you will actually buy tokens and being billed for those tokens. So that model will change. But we are very successful in that. I mentioned that we got an upsell and the renewal rate on that software is 131%. And remember that we deal with partners and directly with the big corporates and enterprise companies where we unlock the value of that asset for them, the user subscription. And we advise them as well. If they pay too much for a user, like Microsoft got 12 levels of users that you can buy, and this person only needs a level 1 or 2, that's where we advise them and actually save them money that way. So those guys, they live on these subscriptions, we implement it and add the value for business to that. And we can see whether that guys are using it or not. So we don't see a big threat there because we add the value and we've got the people, advanced specializations to support that.
Just another question. You had the map there of all the points of presence, right across the continent and up into Europe. In terms of expanding internationally, I mean, how do you balance, buying, another local business here that's got very solid, South African client base and exposure versus, doing more internationally with, rand exchange risk and, company or country specific risks, culture risks. Maybe just touch on how you kind of think about expanding the South Africa businesses versus the international business.
I think the biggest thing there is that success will always follow success. These guys see us and what we do, and at the international conferences as well. When we go overseas for that week conference at America, you basically sleep 5 hours a night. Okay, a lot is there's some branding involved as well, but we connect and we do business all over very well. I think Eric must just go regarding our forward exchange. We're very solid in our financials, the way we handle our Forex. If you can just add your piece there, Eric.
Yeah, ultimately, our biggest exposure is with two Microsoft. One of our biggest vendors, this Microsoft, in that sense, with the dollar terms. So ultimately the arrangement with customers is to give with a fixed price list. So within the customers, within the resellers also prefer that. So we've got a 6-month forward view, and we contractually then we take out the FECs with for it. So we're not taking financial risks, or we call it the role of we basically hedge out the full with exposure. So we don't take market position. We don't take a chance with if the rand is going to strengthen or go up or down. And we've learned our lessons with a few years back when an unexpected finance minister was appointed. So it's to ensure that in South Africa that you can avoid those instances. So solid model, we cover ourselves. But we all live in South Africa. We know the dollar is a risk. The rand ultimately is going to depreciate over time. But the way we operate is we take that whole trading risk and exposure to the currency out of our business in a way we fix it for a 6-month period. And that's also one of the main reasons why partners are coming over to us, is because we can give them that fixed billing.
So we've been a bit naughty and going over time a bit. First time ever, I think. So we're going to do it like literally 2 more minutes. So last question on my side is just around expenses, actually. So if I go and strip out your goodwill and that kind of movements there, because I think some of that's in there, then operating expenses was up by around 11% this year. Just walk us through your primary expense pressures. Do you think AI can make you more efficient over time? That's the big debate at the moment, right? Is efficiencies and how much faster and better you. Just give us a sense there, and that's the last one then from my side.
Yeah, quickly, on admin, we haven't increased our staff count or new admin positions at all for this financial year. And we actually budgeted a few virtual employees. That's AI agents that will do the job for us. On delivery, the production side, that's where we spend our money on new people. And then Eric, so you can comment on that expenses side.
Yes, I'm muted. Ultimately, like I've mentioned earlier when we had a chat about the operational expenditure, our biggest cost is ultimately with the staff cost. And in that slide for the operational expenditure, I've alluded to say that our staff cost is 86%, and with the increase on direct salaries was 16.6%. And I don't have a business will not have a problem to pay for a billable person, because ultimately that person is going to bring in more revenue to the business. And as I mentioned, the indirect salaries actually decreased over this year of review. So it's with less people, and also we're taking into account the impact in salaries. So definitely the focus is in the trenches, where we're going to deliver solutions, and the back office it needs to maintain and help the growth.
I think we'll leave it there. I'm just going to put a blanket apology out if we didn't get to the questions. We just simply ran out of time with 140, 150 people on the call, and a slew of questions. We didn't manage to get to them all, but hopefully we can get the 4Sight team back in again, and we can tackle a few more questions in the future. I'm going to hand back to Deborah now just to wrap up for us, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. And thanks for everybody who chose to spend time with us today. And a special thanks, obviously, to Tertius, Eric, and Camille for making the time to support this platform and to engage with retail investors. Our next session is on Thursday, the 11th of June, and we're pleased to welcome the Integrated Resources Group, Theresa, back to Unlock the Stock. And that's all from us today. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.